Hi guys, welcome to my channel. So today I'm going to be showing you guys how I made this wig from start to finish using the HairsMarket bundles. So yeah, I actually received 3 bundles of 22 inches, loose water wave hair, and this is what the packaging looks like. It comes with instruction of how to take care of your hair and also with the hair as well, and it also comes with 3 bundles and one closure. Look at that, guys. The hair is really nice and very silky. I quite like the hair, to be honest, because it's so full, and the wefts are double drawn, and you can tell the lace also comes with a lace closure, also comes with a transparent lace and very lightweight lace, which is very good in terms of installation. So yeah, I'm just going to go straight to the point and share how I made the wig. I actually pinned down the closure in, you know, from point A to point B, and I started sewing. And yeah, I tried my best to show you guys as, you know, easy as I can do it. But yeah, I sewed the weft from the, closure from part A to part B. Everything I'm doing in this video is quite self-explanatory. As you can tell, if you already know how to sew clothes or sew anything, then you should be able to do this when you follow, the same process that I'm showing you guys right now. It's very easy. You don't have to worry or panic about how to go on about it, because it's so easy. Then yeah, you just start by sewing the closure from part A to part B. In my opinion, I always try to sew the first side first and the second side, then move to the back as shown in the video, because it's easier that way. So that way the lace closure can lay down really flat on your head, so it's not going to look bulky or anything. So when you still have threads left, then you can sew the hair backward again, just to make sure it's well secured and all. And yeah, so when you're done with that, you start with the weft or the bundles. So for the back of the wig, I always recommend to sew, by doubling the weft. So yeah, for the back I double the weft, and while you're sewing, you make sure that the wefts that you doubled are actually in line with each other, because that's very important. Otherwise you end up sewing one part of the weft on the hair and the other would be left unsewn. So I don't know if that makes sense anyway, but yeah. So when you're doubling the wefts, it gives the hair a kind of full volume at the back, and when you get to the top, you sew single wefted. That's how I do my, you know that's how I make my wig. Because if you've been watching my video for a while, you know that I always try to avoid a bulky front, if that makes sense, because if you keep doubling to the last top bit, then the wig is going to look very bulky. So it's better to add your volume from the back, then you layer it, you know as long as you go up to the top. So if that makes sense anyway. So that's what I'm doing. So far so good. What I'm doing is self-explanatory. You just keep sewing the weft in a U shaped until you get to the top. So you keep going on while you sewing the hair. You make sure you keep checking that the hair are in line together, so you won't sew one and leave one out. So I kept checking and I kept sewing as I go on. So yeah, that's what I'm doing so far. I don't know if you're not quite sure, or if you have any question in regarding to how I make my wigs, or you're not quite sure about what's going on, just feel free to leave a question below and I would be happy to answer you, or explain further if there's anything you need to know. So everything I'm doing so far is self-explanatory really. So when I got to the top, when I'm almost at the top, I left a bit more space at the back. As you can see, there's a tiny space going on right there. Well, I do normally leave like about an inch space, just to be sure that I've got enough air, because I was not quite sure. Then it was later that I realized that I still had some hair, so I thought there was no point leaving that much space on the hair. So if you are sewing your hair, just make sure that you check in as you sew your wig, that you have enough air to go around the hair without having to worry about leaving too much space like I did just now. But yeah, when I checked the hair later, I ended up adding the leftover from the hair on the areas that I left the space on. So if that makes sense, I still had some hair left, so I had to just go over those space and sew the hair back. When I got to the top, I started sewing single wefted. So that means I didn't double it at the top because I didn't actually want the hair to look bulky. So because I wanted the hair to be as flat as possible, I actually started sewing single wefted when I got to the top. So after that, I just pat the hair where I actually needed the pat to be, and I applied the mousse. Actually, that was not actually necessary if you actually going to wash the hair, because I ended up washing the hair. I thought, well, there was no point doing that anyway. But after you've washed the hair, then you can feel free to create your parts. As you can tell, you can pat the hair anywhere within the closures. Like, I think it's 4x4 closure really. Yeah, so I applied the mousse on my hair just to make sure that the curls were popping, guys. The curls were popping. So yeah, the only two things that I applied on this hair was actually the mousse and the leave-in conditioner, which is really one of my favorite, guys. The quality of this hair is really, really good. Like, really, really good. I'm quite surprised about the quality of the hair, and based on the price, it's a no-brainer, guys. It's a no-brainer. Anyway, just stay tuned for the review to learn more about the hair, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye. Hi guys, welcome to my channel. So today's video is all about the HairsMarket review. I actually showed you guys how I achieved this look from start to finish, and also how I made the wigs for you guys. So guys, the hair was actually 3 bundles. The bundles were actually the same length, so there was no need for me to layer the wig, layer the hair or anything. I'm just gonna go ahead and review the hair for you guys and share my thoughts about the hair so far. I actually like the hair so far, so good. As you guys can tell, the hair is already dried, and you can see it's very, very soft and silky to touch. So the first thing I noticed about the hair is the fact that the closure that came with the hair was really, really nice. It actually has a very light lace, which I really like a lot. When the lace of a wig or a closure or any frontal is really light, then it's very easier for you to install such lace. So I quite like that about the lace of the brochure that was sent, so I really like that a lot. Another thing I noticed about the hair is the fact that the bundles were actually really, really full. The weft was so, so full that I was thinking, should I use the O3 or should I just use 2? But I ended up sewing the 3 bundles on the hair, and I like the fact that it was really, really full. So there was no need for me to cut out any excess hair or anything whatsoever. So I really quite like that the bundles were full, and the weft were actually double drawn, so which also enhanced how full the bundles were. As you guys can tell, as I showed you guys at the beginning of this video, the weft were double drawn, so the hair appear more fuller in terms of volume, and in terms of length, the hair is actually 22 inches. The hair is actually 22 inches and it's up to here. I don't know if you guys can see. It's like up to here. It's really long, and in terms of the length, the hair is actually true to length in my opinion. And I also quite like the fact that the curls were popping, guys. Look at that. The only 2 products that I applied on this hair was actually the mousse and my leave-in conditioner by She Moisture. Those were the only 2 things that I applied on the hair, nothing more, nothing less. And as you can tell, the hair is dry and the curls were still the same, just as the way it was when it was dried. I quite like the quality of the hair, guys. The quality of the hair is really, really good. As you can tell, I've been putting my hands through the hair since, and there is no shedding, no tangling whatsoever. I was actually expecting ends of the hair to be dried, but they were not dried or anything at all, even despite the fact that the hair is totally dry, completely dry, guys, completely dry. So I really quite like that about the hair. As you can tell, there's no shedding or matting whatsoever. And also the shipping of the hair was really quick. It took about 3 days to get here in the UK, which I really quite like a lot, because when it comes to shipping, I'm always very worried how long the hair takes to get here. So I'm always very focused on that as well. So in case you guys are wondering like how long the hair took to get to me, it took about exactly 3 days to get here in the UK. So depending on where you're based or where you know live, but here in the UK it took exactly 3 days to get here. Also, you don't need to sew up to like 4 or 5 bundles on the hair, because as you can tell, for 3 bundles I'm quite happy about that. As you can tell, there's no need for you to go like up to 4 bundles. The kind of volume and length that I really like, because I'm the type of girl that doesn't like that like heavy hair kind of thing. And the hair is really lightweight on my head. The fact that I use for hair, the hair is really lightweight on my head. I really like that a lot. And also bear in mind that I didn't use any glue whatsoever to hold this hair. I actually used the elastic band to, you know, secure the hair on my head, so there was no need for me to apply any glue or gel. So that's my thoughts about the hair so far. I'll leave the details of the hair in the description box below. Please feel free to check out the video and let me know what you guys think, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye guys.